Here we go. Happy to have you. You're three, you're four, you're four. I don't. I'm happy you're here listening to um, this or witnessing the experience of life and sharing it with people. And I'm happy to have Bobby uh, once again with me. We have always have fun and interesting discussion, and I wanted to bring up what he was working in. Okay, he has this page. I can't remember the name properly. Sorry for that. It's
Anonymous addiction.
addiction. Yes, anonymous
Anonymous
addiction.
addiction.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff, and it's more of a um, holistic approach into the alcoholic anonymous, and it's pretty good stuff because it's all uh, related to mind control and cult mentality. So just Bobby asked me to describe um, what the LIBERcast was meaning, the meaning of the LIBERcast and the symbolism. So in the page, actually, you can go and look, and then you have the torch, and usually people who are in the occult recognize the symbol immediately. It means knowledge. It means light. So when you have the torch, you have the light. You're bringing the light with you. The light is knowledge. So that's it. And you have the A, inside the circle. It's supposed to mean anarchy. That means no master, no slave. That's it. That sovereignty of the individual and complete. You take your responsibility back. That's what it means. Essentially, it's you don't pay. You don't have to pay someone to take care of you. You can do it for yourself, and you don't need any authority to take care of to take your responsibility. That they cannot never do that. Take your responsibility. So LIBERcast, liber means reading books, and then it means freedom. So I had this idea from my mentor. He he, he actually said that in one of his podcasts. He was talking about language and words, and then it struck me, the green language and all this stuff we can talk about uh, later or in the other podcast. So I'm gonna let Bobby do his introduction. So here you go, buddy.
Thank you, Nero. Nero Fred. Nero means one,
Yeah,
one
Neo.
of the world. Neo means one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just for people Fred told me that months ago. But I really like that breakdown of the title, which is seeking knowledge through books, through education, seeking knowledge, right, and understanding to freedom. You know, and the anarchist sign. The government and the media always want to make it something that it isn't. They're always trying to make it into something evil and bad. Uh, when the audience, I would recommend, I know I'm talking to the audience, maybe my audience, okay? Common sense, natural law, people that are just getting into it. Check it out. Find really what it means, the real meaning of it. You know, it doesn't mean what the media is telling us and what the media says about it, because they want to make anarchy into something evil. And there's some people uh, that are anarchists that are bad. Okay, there are some anarchists that are bad and doing bad things in the name of anarchy.
Yes, they're
Okay,
using the word.
right? They're using the word, and so they're using that and taking the evil or the bad and rolling the whole community or the whole world anarchist into this uh, definition that the media and the government. I just want to get that off my chest. You know, we have de-occulting Now, this podcast is talking about de-occulting. Well, what I'm talking about is deprogramming people from the occult, or showing them, because occult means, there's so many definitions. If you look up the word occult, there's so many different definitions of it. You can go every 5, 6, 7 different places and look it up. But I'm using the word in a sense that it's not revealed, it's secret. I'm using it in a word that's not easily apprehended or understood.
Yes.
I'm using it in a context like hidden from view. Even though what we're doing here is we're connecting the dots. You know, David Icke talks about, I love it when he talks about connecting the dots and follow the money.
Yes.
You know, and that's what I've been doing. I've been connecting the dots for over 30 years with Alcoholics Anonymous, because I have a long time in the program, many years. And I've been connecting the dots and following the money for years. Here's some other meanings. Matters regarded as involving the action or influence of supernatural powers or some secret knowledge of them. Okay, I'm here to say that, you know, I'm not talking. Atheism and agnostics and atheists, they have their certain belief. They don't believe in supernatural. They don't believe in spirituality. They don't believe in gods and stuff like that. I personally believe in a certain spiritual realm. Okay. But if I say spirituality, somebody's going to take it out of content, and they're going to label me with their perception and their reality in their brain and what they learned through their experience. And they're going to say, oh, Bobby's this. Well, you don't know. I'm talking to the audience. You don't know me. You don't know my relationship with the spirit. Okay. Through my life experience, which my life experience is good, bad, and everything in between. Now, here's some other: beyond the range of ordinary knowledge or understanding. Okay. Secret, disclosed, or communicated only to the initiated. The initiated. They're talking about Freemasonry, Freemason, and certain occult pyramid structures that is all secret. Unless you're up a higher level, then you can finally graduate to some more secretive stuff. That's the structure of the pyramid. They even say mysticism, spirituality, magic, supernatural beliefs and practices. I just wanted to get that off because we're going to talk about occult. So look it up, ladies and gentlemen. And I found that Alcoholics Anonymous was designed for a purpose. And the purpose is not what it appears to be. And Fred was going to title this, I think, something else, which had to do with the
more of a cult approach to
volunteer, like good, something good, like
yes.
Like this is all good for the whole, this is good for society. When it's everted, it's really not good. Okay, because it keeps us in prisons, it keeps us enslaved, it keeps us in a trap. Okay, and it was designed that way. If we even go back years and years into the 1800s, when Benjamin Rush coined, and Magnus Huss coined alcoholism, the word alcoholism. And they created this disease because they believed, and it was true too, that the men, and the temperance movement was going through Europe, throughout the world, the temperance movement. And it was a movement for purification against alcohol, against drinkers. It was an abstinence movement because men were losing their jobs because of the drink and the drug, and they were leaving their wives and not taking care of their children. So this stuff that I'm talking about has a history way back, you know. So some people want to just look at it as Alcoholics Anonymous, the pyramid, but I'm connecting the dots to why it was created, the reason why it was created. And I believe the reason way back then, I believe Rockefeller had to do with the creation of Alcoholics Anonymous. I believe he created Alcoholics Anonymous to be his new temperance movement. Okay.
Yes.
Because he got involved with it in the very beginning, like when it first started. And he sent two of his close confidants, his right-hand man, over to check it out. And what he did was he hijacked the whole program. Everybody thinks it was Bill W., Bill Wilson, Dr. Bob. They were the brains behind this whole thing. When you uncover the 12 steps, 12 traditions, and 12 concepts,
Mm-hmm.
this book right here is the 12 concepts. Not too many people have this book. Okay, you have to be a member of general service. You have to be a general service rep to get this book. The 12 concepts controls the world organization. And they say this is a simple, not organized program. This program is so organized, it's pathetic. And it's all laid out in this book right here. And at the top of the pyramid, at the very top, the very little piece of top. See, because most of us members are at the bottom. We're at the bottom. We just go in and we buy the magazines, we buy the books, we buy the tapes, we circulate the pamphlets, we promote the machine, we talk it up. Then you can move up the ladder if you're into general service, if you're into intergroup. All the intergroups around the world. That's the bookstore. That's the tape store. That's where all the pamphlets are sold. That's where all the literature. That's where they go into all the institutions, hospitals, schools. This thing is, they say it's not promotion. That's all it is promotion. Matter of fact, the 12 steps will hijack your body, mind, and spirit. The 12 traditions hijack all the groups. And the 12 concepts hijack and take and control all the world service. And Fred, we were talking earlier about the 12, 12, and 12. It's very symbolic, very symbolic. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Look up 12, 12, and 12. It means control, actually. It's perfection. It's completion. It's where do you think they get the 12 months? 12 in the Bible, there's probably 50 different verses of 12, 12, and 12 in the Bible. 12 means government. It means rule. It means authority. It means completion. It means God in heaven. 12, 12, and 12 means God in heaven. Okay? So it's very symbolic. The symbolism in Alcoholics Anonymous, because we get coins. They give out coins, millions and millions and millions every day, because this is a world organization. It's international. It's a world organization. Alcoholics Anonymous is made up of two corporations. One is World Service, Inc. The other is Grapevine, Inc. So it's made up of two corporations. The one corporation, World Service, is the controlling mechanism, and that's where they collect the money in all the meetings around the world. There's people that go to 2 meetings a day. They give $1 or $2. There's millions of us. They're coming in millions of dollars per day, 30, 40 million per month, just from World Service, Inc. Okay? Now that's not counting all the money that is made from the Grapevine, Inc., which is where all the distribution of all the pamphlets, literatures. I got books here, book after book after book of pamphlets and literatures, and where all the money goes and we buy it. Volunteers. We're volunteers. We make the coffee. We do the treasury. All volunteers, right? And then we give the money in the basket, and we go out and buy all the literature and give it to the newcomer. That's not promotion. They say it's not promotion, it's only attraction. Then we give it to the newcomer. And then what we do is we have to do the 12 steps. And if we don't, because that's the only cure to reach the 12 steps, so you can have a spiritual awakening because of the steps, okay? And that's the cure, but you have to do it on a daily basis for the rest of your life, because it's a daily reprieve, because this made-up disease is responsible for what's going on in your world. Alcoholics Anonymous is the cure, and there's only one way, is through God.
Incredible.
But guess what? It's not God, it's the AA. They make AA responsible for your life because you're giving your will, your life, and your care over to Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
And this made-up God of your understanding for life. And not only that, they want you to recruit others for life, okay? And you're volunteering for this, and it's all volunteered system. And you know what, Fred? I'll let you touch on that a little bit, and then I'll come back to it.
So let's talk about more of the. You cannot go and talk about. When I hear you talk about this, Bobby, I'm thinking about a cult. I'm thinking about a religion. Okay, you have the volunteer side. That is exactly the same there, and then you have devotion and submission. And I would like to call it a salvationist religion. So you are there to get salvation. So it's a cult.
Exactly.
It's a religion.
It's a soul. Let me just touch base in there. You're exactly right. I like how you worded that. I like how you phrased that, because they steal our identity. Everybody in the world that goes into a meeting, they raise their hand and they say, "My name is Bobby. I'm an alcoholic. I have a disease of alcoholism." Everybody that goes around the table, "My name is Bobby. I'm alcoholic." They steal our identity and give us a new identity of alcoholic. And then they create not only the identity of alcoholic, they say I'm diseased with the alcoholism.
Wow.
Alcoholism is the disease. And then they don't even care about you stop drinking or drugging. They don't care about that because you still have the ism. They're still saying it's still ism is the character defects that you have from this disease, and there's no cure for it. The only cure is AA for life. And if you don't do it, it says it right here in the book. Let's see on 12. Let's see on a tradition. Let me just read one of these traditions.
Yes.
Okay. Here's tradition 1. Each member of Alcoholics Anonymous is but one small part of a great whole. That's the collectivism.
Yes.
That's the collective is more important than the person at the whole. Okay. AA must continue to live, or most of us will surely die. That's the first. That's number one tradition. Okay. Here's another on the steps. Let's just go to the steps real quick, and let's say in how it works. Let's say at the end of the steps, they'll say 3 pertinent ideas. What's pertinent mean? It means it's the whole thing. Pertinent means this is it, right? So at the end of the steps, they tell you 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic, So they're giving us the identity over and over again.
Yes.
We were alcoholic, and we could not manage our own lives. We could not manage our own lives. You can't manage your life without AA. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. No human power, not your will, not nobody else, humanness, can help you with this disease of alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were sought. And what they mean when they say God, they don't even mean God. They mean AA.
Yeah.
I'll stop there. I'll stop there. You go on. And
incredible.
then you come back.
That's incredible.
Come on back. Come on back.
Yeah, well, when we talk about this, we're talking about people that probably get there because they're one under obligation, or they're doing that because there's desperation there. So you have to be at one of your lowest state of being, to be that disinfluence there. It's like it takes your responsibilities away from you. It's like every religion's, oh, don't worry about that, we're gonna take care of you. And this care there, this kind of care is, it's not the care you have for your children or for your relative.
No, because the care for our children is we let them go. We let them make their mistakes and give them their own will and their own life. We're just there watching over them. It's not the same care. You're right. And it's not the same care as in natural law in the 8th principle. Like we talked about that on our last broadcast. It's not the same care. Natural law care is the true natural law care, is the true care, which Alcoholics Anonymous doesn't provide.
Yes. Sure, they don't talk about this.
You know, I want to just touch base to the audience yet. I mean, I'm here on Fred's podcast, not to be dooms. Look, I was a member for years. Okay, there's people that are going to be sent there. Another portion of this, it's like state, church and state, church and state. Okay, no separation, because the state sends, the courts sends you to Alcoholics Anonymous through mandate, okay? And then they send you to court ordered, okay? So you have to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, sign the card, and show the court that you've been there. And then you might have to do some therapy work or something. So it's a mandate. So, and then religion, I mean, it's all tied in to the pyramid. The religion part is all tied in, because I go into some podcasts, talk about how the Catholic religion is like hand in hand with Alcoholics Anonymous. They work together. I do podcasts and show that, okay, with Matt Talbert and different other organizations. So the state comes in and mandates. The religion comes in, plays a part. All the meetings in church basements, okay, but I'm here to say that people that go to detox, there's a lot of people, they need detox. Go to detox if you need detox. Then they send them to rehabs. Now, by the time they send them to rehab, they're already clean and sober. Let's use that word, even though I don't like the word. So they already did it. They already did something. Now they're going to be told how to do it, and they're going to be shown the 12 steps, and they're going to be directed after 30, 60, 90 days, and they're going to be put back into Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, they're going to be sent there. Finally, you know, I'm talking about the members. Look, I'm not trying to, if you love Alcoholics Anonymous and it's helping you, you think you want to stay in, stay in. I'm talking to the people that they're on the fence. They have cognitive dissonance. They're ambivalence. They feel it's religious, but I'm not religious. Why are they talking about this? I feel like I'm being coerced into it. I feel a little bit of manipulation. I feel that if I don't do this, I'm going to die. So you're right, the desperation. Yes. Okay. The other thing is that Alcoholics Anonymous is everywhere. Everywhere. You could go down the street and find a meeting. You can go in every town and find clubhouses. Okay. And I could talk about that on another podcast, the sober living houses, the halfway houses, the sober living houses, the thousands and thousands and thousands of money. And it's a scam. It's a scam because they're finally giving people alternatives. And that's what we should talk about, is the alternatives. Look it up. When I came in 37 years ago, I had no alternatives. They told me I was alcoholic before I even came into AA. Everybody said I was around me because that's all they knew. You drink too much, you're alcoholic. And I didn't have the internet. I didn't have any knowledge. I didn't have any choices. Was I a victim? I think I was, even though I don't believe in victimization. After you have the knowledge, you're not a victim.
Sure.
But at some point, we all become victims of this social experiment.
Yes.
And we get drawn into this Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step deal and believe in it. Here's the good news. The good news is there's plenty of other choices today. They're not readily available. But here's the good news too. This pandemic, this thing, this lockdown, I hate to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is woke so many people up. This thing went against them. It didn't work towards them. If it wasn't for this lockdown and this pandemic and all this bullshit, I wouldn't even be here doing this, because this got me excited, okay, about 1.5 years ago when it first started. And it got me on this trail, and it got me on this purpose and passion about helping other people and showing other people alternatives, different methods, different modalities, different ways. And what I'm finding out, which I found out years ago, and here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to tell the audience. I want to tell everybody. First of all, there's people out there that don't want to get clean and sober. They don't want to. Okay? That's okay. They don't want to. There's some people out there that are starting to feel like maybe they need to, or they're becoming willing to, maybe they need to. And then there's people that come to the realization they do need it. Then there's others that want it. Okay? And I don't care where you're at. If you're listening to this podcast, you are creating your own program.
Yes.
You are programming yourself because you chose to listen. You chose to stay on and maybe get some other knowledge, some other information. It was your choice. It wasn't Alcoholics Anonymous telling you what to do. It wasn't another model telling you what to do. It's yours. I found out this to be true. Now, I believe in pointers. I believe everybody needs help. We all need help.
Yes.
Okay? Help is a pointer to a way, but we are the way. Help is a pointer to the way, but we are the way. And I believe all things have one thing in common. Everything has one thing in common, and that's us. That's me. Everything is common. It always comes from me, but I'm always giving credit to something else. This brain, this body, this mind, this spirit, this soul, this energy, this vibration, this awakening has meaning. It has meaning. And if you're listening and you want to go from one thing to another, you want to expand your consciousness to awaken, keep on listening, keep on searching. Seek and you shall find, because it's always going to come from you eventually. You're always trying to get credit. People will give credit. They protect their protectors. The oppressed will protect their oppressors. Okay? Yeah. It's the same as in Alcoholics Anonymous. You will protect your oppressor because you feel an obligation, and that's part of the brainwashing mechanism because you'll feel self-betrayal. You'll feel compulsion to be part of, because brainwashing techniques have confession. They got rebirth. They got progress. They got harmony. They got channeling of guilt. They got compulsive of confession. We feel like we're going to be self-portraying, betraying the one that is saving us. And Fred mentioned it, Savior. We're going to be talking bad about our Savior, Alcoholics Anonymous, Bill Wilson, our God, Dr. Bob. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a religion. And if you're into religion, what can I say? That's okay. You're into religion, and
Yes.
I feel like it's an enslavement prison. It's a trap, just like the recovery industry.
And I want to bring something about this. You talk about prison. You know why? I realize when you're talking about this, that it's a spiritual nullifier. I don't know if I used a good word there. So your human are in constant search for spiritual meaning, even if they don't know it, even if they are not conscious of it. So you don't know better. That's why and it's not your fault. Okay. And I was there. I was a Satanist too. I was there. The self-loathing. Okay, this is part of it. The self-loathing. You don't love enough yourself to take care of yourself, so you let someone do it for you. So you have the self-loathing there. You have when you self-loathing, you hurt yourself. So
Exactly.
So the people are going into whatever they can find comfort.
Exactly. And then if they're constantly telling you that you have all these character defects, which are just human defects that we all have, and they're making us feel like we're unique and we're different than all the other human beings because we have these so-called character defects, which are all human traits.
Yes.
I'm trying to find some, but go ahead, talk a little bit more about that.
So we are now into a spiritual war. This is where we at. So everything is there. All he was explaining about this organization, it's about this isolating the individual and bring them into collectivism mindset. You
Exactly.
identify as it's ego identification. So it's not you. People are taking this persona because it makes them it comforts them inside, and it gives them like meanings. If I can they have something to hang to. They have this how do you call that, when the people have a hard time to walk. Okay. When they're
Crutches.
yes, crutches, exactly. That's it. And
Yeah.
I want to bring something just the spiritual meaning. You cannot find it elsewhere than inside yourself. There's no religions out there. There's no new agers out there who can give you the key of your own powers.
Exactly. That's what we were touching. We were talking about that prior to coming on here. Everybody's looking for gurus.
Yes.
If you're still a fanatic or a fanaticism in looking at your guru, because the guru is nothing. They're nothing without the people. But a lot of gurus tried to tell people that I'm not a guru. You are a guru. We are all our own gurus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are Buddha. I'm Buddha. I'm a guru. my own guru. But people
Yes.
are always looking to put other people on pedestals. Me, I don't put no one on pedestals. No one. I don't care who it is. I could sit, I'd be comfortable sitting with the most intelligent human being in the world. I would be comfortable talking with them. This is what I found out about, like, putting people on pedestals with, let's say, we'll talk about language a little bit because I think you brought that up.
Yes.
Language. I can sit, I don't know why, but I think me and Fred were talking about this. I think because of the knowledge that I've experienced, I went further. My consciousness grew. I became more aware of different things. I could see through veils of hidden knowledge, the occult. I could see the occult. I could see through. So I can listen to somebody. I don't care if they're a guru, a scientist, a professor, international leader. I don't care who they are, and I don't care how they articulate these fancy words. They could use as many as they want. I can understand through the meaning of half the words that they say. I can still decipher and understand what they're saying. Now, how's that possible? You know, people say, well, how's that possible, Bobby? You think you're as smart as they are? I think that I have inside of me something that deciphers this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, last week I was listening to a couple New Age gurus talking, and they were using all kinds of lingo because everybody loves new language. They're attracted to new type of talk, new type of verbiage, new type of articulation in a different realm that we're used to. So it seems like it's greater than the common simple stuff, and it's not. They talked, and they used different words that I didn't hear before. But when they were done, I knew exactly what they were saying, and I felt it before. I knew exactly what they were saying, and I understood it like it was second nature. You know.
Yes.
So all the people that you think maybe, you know, some people will call, Bobby, you're a dummy. Okay, they'll say I'm a dummy because maybe I don't talk the language that they do, or I don't speak and articulate all these big fancy words. But I'm telling the people, you can read through all the words. Matter of fact, you could see through all the bullshit. Okay, because a lot of it is it's just a fancy disguise from common sense natural law.
Yes.
It's a fancy. It's almost like the alcohol industry and the pharmaceutical industry, how they disguise their products to be so good and so pure and salvation. They're the salvation, you know. Alcohol industry. Look, I'm for freedom of choice. I believe in freedom of choice. You want to drink as much as you want. But guess what? I'm going to call out the alcohol industry, and I'm going to call out the pharmaceutical industry, the tobacco industry, the media, the government, the Hollywood. I'm going to call them out because guess what? Freedom of choice, I believe in freedom of choice. But freedom of deception, when they're packaging, alcohol industry packages the product like it's so good, it's so beautiful. They package it to our children, our grandchildren, our wives, our grandmother. It's so beautiful. The media, Hollywood, advertisement, they spend billions and billions of dollars because it's $1 trillion industry.
Yeah.
Nobody calls them out.
No.
Nobody calls the alcohol industry out because they'll say, oh, Bobby, what are you, a prohibitionist? No, I'm not. I'm for freedom of speech. I'm for freedom. Do whatever you want to do. But call out the son of a bitches that are doing the devastating consequences for society. They're destroying society. And guess what? I hate to say it, but you know what? The temperance movement 250 years ago knew it back then too. They knew it. Okay? But they're doing it the wrong. They do it all wrong. See, Fred mentioned it. This is a psychological and spiritual warfare. It's a psychological revolution.
Yep.
Protesting, you think that's going to work. They get stronger. The more you protest, the more power. The more you go against the army or the police, they'll double up. They'll double up. Okay? This is a psychological information that we're passing on. This is where one mind to another. If I help deprogram and help someone grow their conscious and awareness, one person, okay?
Yes.
Just imagine if we all do that to one person, you know. And it's how we do it too. A lot of people are going to turn us off, okay?
Yes.
I can't do anything about that. So we got to go a little easy. I feel this is the way I do things. I don't want to be too hardcore, because why should I scare somebody that's just coming into the understanding of natural law, or
Yes.
the new type of talk that we're talking about? They'll say we're conspiracy theorists. Guess what? I am, because everything mostly is conspiracy. Mostly everything
You're a
is a
conspiracy,
scam.
but you're not a theorist.
Well, I'm
You're
a
a conspiracy
conspiracy.
exposer.
There we go. There we
Yes.
go. I like that.
Yes. You're
And
de-occulting things.
I'm de-occulting, and I like that. I'm a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm a conspiracy exposer.
Exposer. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
That's what we need.
That's what we need
Exactly.
more of. And we got to do it in a general way, because you know what? Ask somebody one question. How are you going to get to them to the conscious level of where you want them to go when you ask one question? Do you still believe in Republican and Democrat?
Yes. You know exactly what they're at.
So I got to ask them is one
Yes.
thing. Do you still believe in authority? Do you still believe that laws are moral? I ask a couple questions, you know. And then what do I want to do? I really can't go further than that. I mean, so you got to go even lower level and come up to that.
Yeah.
Okay? Come up to that level of understanding. Hey, when I first started to learn different things, hey, I was when I was in Alcoholics Anonymous, I believed a lot of it, but I was lucky. Somehow, somewhere, I was a little more woke when I went in, and I always had a desire to search. Always had a desire to seek more.
For more, you were thirsty for information and truth. That's it. And most of the time, when people have this, they don't understand it. They're feeling this hunger of knowing, this hunger of liberating themselves from the shackles of society, because I'm not gonna get into culture today. I'm gonna do an old podcast about that, but culture as such, like when culture is program for the people. That's why when people are listening to TV, they're listening to programs.
Exactly.
Everything is in the words.
That's why this podcast is called Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12-step programming.
Yeah.
Programming through repetition is the mother of skill. Repetition is the mother of brainwashing. Through repetition of phrases,
You're right.
prayers, rituals, symbolic messaging, sayings, repetition over and over and over and over and over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in the rooms for many, many years. I know the repetition that goes on. We protect our oppressor. We're protecting some entity that is not in our best interest. Do you think these politicians really care about us? They're just like, do they really care about your family, what you're eating, how you're sleeping, how much money you're making? No, it's all a game. The money system is all a lie. It's all a game. Learn about it. Learn about the governments. Learn about the system. How in this day and age do we still have a king and a queen? How in this day and age do we still have dictators? How in this day and age we still have tyrants like North Korea, communist states? How do we still have
Censorship.
dialectic,
Yes.
two-party system, two-party to keep you what? Divided.
Yep.
Two-party. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer is the strategy.
You have all the other things. You have subcultures. Okay, you have movement we have intersectionalism. Okay, it's bigger and bigger now, and it's full-blown Marxism. They are in our schools now. They are in the universities.
Well, look, if you don't think that socialism, what is unemployment? What is Social Security? What is the school system? It's all socialism, okay? So we already have that, okay? So here I'd like to mention this too. I talk about the pyramid. And on my hats, I believe in the upside down pyramid. On Fred's logo, in the middle, there's a triangle that's upside down. I know everything that we see, even natural law, the pyramid with the eye in the middle. Okay. I believe in the upside down pyramid where the people and the freedom is up top. And the bottom is we control them. They don't control us, or there's no control. Let's just say there's no control. Here, I just want to show you the top of the pyramid in that book, The 12 Concepts. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the top of the pyramid, millions and millions of members, millions throughout the world. Here's the top of the pyramid. 7 Class A non-alcoholic trustees. There's 14 Class B alcoholic trustees, and there's 7 A non-alcoholic trustees. 14, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 21 people at the top. That's it. There's 21 people at the top of the pyramid in Alcoholics Anonymous. People don't even know that.
Incredible.
They've been in Alcoholics Anonymous for 10 years, 15 years, and don't even know that. And some do.
Yes. Well,
and isn't that almost similar to how many the 1%er that runs the world? I mean,
I've been, Bobby, I wanted to tell you about this. Okay, I've been studying a little bit the Freemasons. Okay, right. And I have to we're talking about the same thing there. It has a lot of Freemasons are more ritualistic and astrotheological in nature, but it's they have a ladder. They have to go through 33
degrees,
steps,
right,
to the top.
Right.
Okay, and what I wanted to bring up. Okay, I had a conversation. I had a few conversations with Freemasons. Okay, and the lesser ones, the ones who are in the public lodge, don't know anything about the Freemasonry.
Exactly.
Because it's all hidden by.
It's all layered.
Yes.
It's all layered, levels, top to bottom, and it's all layered. And the bottom are just like the bottom people. See, the Freemason is more elegant. It's more for the rich. It's more for the powerful.
Well, it's pretty big, pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's more for the powerful, more for the rich, more for the educated, more for the intellectual, because they want to grow their group, so they have the power of numbers through the collective members, right?
Yes.
It's the same thing at the top. But Alcoholics Anonymous is smaller because they want to control the narrative. They want to control. They don't want us to go, because in the traditions it tells us to be silent. It talks about we have no opinions on any outside issues. That's part of our traditions. No opinions on any outside issues. Alcohol reform, religion, secular. It's all bullshit, because that's all it is religion. That's all it is it's a control mechanism to silence all the people, all the millions of people that so they don't talk about the real issues, the real problem. It's a control mechanism of alcohol drinkers and drug drinkers, because the 12 steps is Narcotics Anonymous. It's Cocaine Anonymous. It's Marijuana Anonymous. It's 15, 20 different other anonymouses. It even goes as deep as children, adult children of Alcoholics Anonymous, Al-Anon, Alateen. It goes into the family. I could talk about how this disease lie took over the whole family mechanism of the alcoholics. I mean, we're just touching on Alcoholics Anonymous, but it goes into the whole family, and it calls it a family disease. Okay, family disease,
intergenerational diseases.
Yeah. It's a disease. They want to, instead of saying environmental, because the son of a bitch in alcoholic industry pumps this shit into our young kids, and they want a relief. They want to get some relief. They want to be happy once in a while because they're dealing with trauma. All the friggin' trauma they got to deal with. How else they want to escape? Oh, well, the alcohol industry, oh, they're so beautiful. Don't blame it on them, because it's personal responsibility. Oh, yeah, like a kid with all the trauma and all the shit that they've been through all their friggin' lives have any information, any tools, any strategies, any coping skills. No, they don't have any of this stuff. So what do? They pound down some booze, okay? It feels good. I did it. Look, 37 years ago, I did it to escape. Boy, I had a good time. I'd leave my wife and my kids and go out and party. I didn't have any responsibility, you know? But no, don't dare talk about that. You'll be a prohibitionist. Don't dare talk about the devastating consequences that alcohol, I'm not, hey, look, if you drink or drug, I don't care about that.
All power to you.
More power to you. Look, that's okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking, you got the freedom to do whatever you want. I'm not talking about that. But call the hell out what is real in the world with the devastating consequences. Alcohol is the number one deadliest drug in the world,
and it's freely. You can have it whenever you want.
And yes, it's a drug.
Incredible.
Yes, it's a drug. The most dangerous, addictive drug in the world. Wow. And it's devastating. The consequence it has on society, the drunken driving deaths, the domestic violence, the cirrhosis, all the sicknesses that you get from it. It's even carcinogen. You know, alcohol is a carcinogen. Okay? A lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people don't know how many people FASD, F-A-S-D, fatal alcohol syndrome, when women are drinking during pregnancies, what the result of their children are. Okay, look up FASD, FADS. Okay, fatal alcohol syndrome disorder. Huh? Check that out. No one talks about none of this shit. You ever see anybody talking about it on the media, on Fox, on CNN? You know, I was in Alcoholics Anonymous. You don't hear none of this shit. I never heard. I was in so many years, never heard one person tell me, "Hey, Bobby, why don't you try out this program? Did you ever try out that? Check this out. Check that out." No. You know where they want to send me? To a Matt Talbot retreat, which is 12-step organization through the Catholic Church. That's where I went for a retreat. I go to a spiritual retreat. You know where I go? I go to a Catholic Matt Talbot retreat. Okay. Talk about salvation. Look up Matt Talbot. You want to see something really crazy? Look up Matt Talbot. Matt Talbot. There's a coin.
You have to just write this under the video when it's gonna be up. Just send the. I want to see that.
No. All you got to do is watch my videos, because I talk about all this shit on all my videos. I do a segment about them all. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to Anonymous Addiction at My Truth About AA at Bobby C's on Facebook. Join the private group, but go to my new YouTube channel, Anonymous Addiction. Yes. It's hard to get to, but Anonymous Addiction at My Truth About AA. Type in that and subscribe to it. And all my videos talk about all the different things that we're talking about today and go into a lot more in more detail. But me and Fred are just touching base. But I'm so
Yes.
glad to talk about this alcohol industry, because I'm going to be doing a podcast on that, because no one talks about that. They think, oh, hey, look, if you're in moderation, you believe in moderation, that's okay. If you believe in drinking and using drugs habitually, that's okay. If you believe in drinking and drugging recreational, that's okay. I don't. It doesn't bother me. If you believe in the Sinclair method, if you believe in harm reduction, the freedom model, I don't care. Smart recovery, go check it out. Check all these things out. But it's always only the pointer. I don't care where you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Yes.
still going to be just a pointer to the way, because it comes from you,
Yes.
and it always does. And that's what the message I'm going to be putting out all the time is that you're creating your own program. Program your own mind. Program
Yes.
our own minds. Don't allow the media, the Hollywood, the elite, the different types of programs, the different cults, the different occults. Don't let them program us. Get the knowledge.
Yes. You don't. The only temple you have to know, it's the one that's inside. There's no other temple like relevant to your growth, your happiness. You know, you're the temple is there. The cleanup, it's inside yourself, inside your Solomon temple. You have the
Right?
sun and the moon. You have the
I
two
bet
sides of the brain. You know, it's all balance,
it's all balance.
balance
It's
everywhere.
all balance. Body, mind, and spirit.
Yes.
They go after our mind. Okay, this gift of a mind. They go after a mind.
Yeah.
Whatever the mind can see. All the big gurus know this. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. All the rich aristocrats, all the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all the Carnegies, they all knew that. They all tried to study it because they wanted their workers. The reason why Carnegie got so popular, and even like Anthony Robbins, because they want their workers to be positive. They want them to be productive. They're not. It's really like it's a good thing, but they they want them to be productive in all the rich for all the rich people. So you could be a good worker, okay? But what we're talking about is being a good worker for yourself, for your own temple, for your own body.
Yes.
And another podcast, me and Fred are going to talk about money and
Yes.
and
Oh my
the
God.
all this stuff of money,
Yeah.
and the power and the prestige of money. Is it needed? Is my stuff valuable without money? When you listen to me, because I'm not charging you $85, and I'll tell you this right now, I'm gonna say it. I'm an expert in my journey. I'm an expert of my life experience, an expert of my life experience, good, bad, and everything in between. If I
Yes.
tell you all the shit that I've been through, okay, all the things that I know and experienced, okay, would you pay me $85 an hour? Would you? Well, you'll run out to a professional that studied it for 4 years, probably has no experience, or you'll go to a person and spend $35, $40 to an alcohol counselor that just became a counselor in the last 6 months, and you'll pay them $45. You'll go to your doctor, you'll go to your lawyer, you'll go to whoever you need, because the professional, okay, the professor, you'll go to them and you'll pay. But do you really think my information or Fred's information is any less than theirs? Think about that for a minute. You know, what we're doing right here is free,
Yes.
because we know that natural law is free. It's free. We know
Yes.
that the secrets, the hidden secrets, knowledge is free and can be exposed and we can understand it
Truth.
and have
Truth
this
is
truth.
free.
Truth is free.
Yes. and yes, that's a good point. And we're gonna end it up on this for this one, because we can go out for like 2 hours, but I cannot do that. I have to go to sleep. It's pretty late here. It's 9:30. Um,
Okay,
I
we've been on. How long we've been on now, Fred?
like an hour or so. So it's
Okay,
pretty good.
I think we should be winding it up. I want you to talk some more about what you want to talk about, and I'll start winding it up for me.
Yes, we have to expand on that, because I'm sure you have other stuff to bring up, and if people are interested in that, there's the page. It's gonna be in the comment section down when I'm gonna upload it. So I'm gonna put the YouTube and then the Facebook from Anonymous Addiction there, and you can go see the videos from Bobby, because they're mind blowing. I've seen like a couple of them, and I was mind blown. Seriously, I didn't expect that at all. It's really occulted knowledge, and it deserves to be out there. I believe in what Bobby is doing. I believe in him. I believe in his work, and I know what he's doing. He's doing for because of care, because of love, because he wants people to get better. Okay, and not calling yourself name and giving you personas because of that, giving you like false identities and things like that. Just want to make people freer. We want freedom for people, and that's one of the way. That's one of the multiple. There's going to be much more. I'm going to have Caroline Riley really soon about the shadow working. This one's going to be so good.
Yeah, I can't wait till
I
that.
invite everyone
Yeah.
who's gonna see that on Anonymous Addiction to come and listen to what we're gonna discuss,
I'll be
because this is
backstage on that one. I'll be backstage on
oh
that one.
sure, you have
I'll be
always your place
listening.
there.
I'll be
So
listening.
I'm
Well,
gonna yes,
Fred, before I leave, I want to thank you as
yeah,
always. And this is going to be, Fred's going to post this over to Anonymous Addiction at My Truth About
yes,
AA as Bobby CC's a private group. Because I want to tell all my listeners before I leave,
yes,
send stuff over to me, please, because Facebook is censoring me. I'm the administrator of my own group, Bobby C. Cirillo. Bobby C. Cirillo is the administrator of the group Anonymous Addiction at My Truth About AA as Bobby CC's a private group. They won't let me send any videos over there. They won't. I just tried to send a friend of mine's video over there, and they took them off. They take off all my videos. They'll let me send other stuff out, but
yes,
it's an algorithm. They say it's going against community standards, which what we're saying is like softball. So please help us. Please help us. Send some stuff over to my page, and I'll approve it. I'll approve it, and we could get some stuff on there, some content on there, because me
yes,
and Fred are going to be continuing doing YouTube.
yes,
And let me mention my other buddy, Joey C. over there. Check out him on Anonymous. He's an Alcoholics Anonymous Deprogramming podcast. Me and Joey do a podcast together. That's
yes,
on YouTube. That's Alcoholics Anonymous Deprogramming podcast. And we're on Spotify. Okay, both of us. Brutally Sober and Anonymous Addiction on YouTube is on Spotify, and I'm going to show Fred how to get on Spotify, and he could put
yes,
his, because it's audio, which is good when you're riding down the road and you just want to listen instead of
yep,
watching. Okay, so you
perfect.
can listen to this podcast. So check us all out, Fred. I'll leave out with you. Sign us off.
So everyone, thank you very much. Jeff, take your time to listen to us talking about this so interesting and fascinating new subject. I didn't know about this since before I encountered Bobby's work. So we're gonna do probably, surely another one on this, just on this, to continue this incredible conversation. So thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.